but then not becoming a more hardcore man, but becoming a softer man after you've already become a man. I will lose out on her, or I will lose out on the opportunity, because if you don't do anything, most probably in most situations, nothing changes. The beauty of the world is that actually it's feminine. Even if the child is a criminal, the mother will still give. Man's nature is such that we are in an attacking stage the whole time. Like literally, the motto of our life is Akraman. So when anything goes wrong or when we want anything, our natural course of action is I have to do something about it. There is an impulsiveness. That impulsiveness, if we do not act on it, it creates anxiety, which creates more impulsiveness. So it's a fucking loop. All right. But this is where, like, my own journey over time has brought me to understand that men need to learn more of the feminine aspect and women need to learn more of the masculine aspect to understand how the world works and understand how their opposite partner works better. After they already have covered a lot of the basics in terms of men turning into men after the boy stage, but then not becoming a more hardcore man, but becoming a softer man after you've already become a man. All right. And the same thing with women, the other way around. So when it comes to us, if something goes wrong or if we want something, we think that we have to do something about it. So we end up attacking either the problem or a person or a job or a, whatever. We attack. But if you saw, there is a poem I posted on Instagram. Like the last picture I posted, I've written a poem on ways of the feminine. Because many times where we fail as men is when we are not supposed to do anything and we end up doing something. Just because we think man gets stuck in this trap that I must do something about it, because we think that if we do something about it, we solve it. We don't understand that time does not stop. The thing which puts us in this trap is of impulsivity is that shit, otherwise I will lose. I will lose out on her, or I will lose out on the opportunity, or I will lose out on this deadline. I will lose because we think that fucking time is running out, man, and we have to, like, the scarcity mindset is very deep, whether in money, whether in relationships, whether in happiness, whether in opportunities of life. But time never runs out. So today, if you don't do anything, the only possible thing, like the most possible outcomes are number one, because you did not do anything, there is no change in the situation. The moment you start doing things, you are bringing more change into the situation. Already the situation is fucked to such a level because of so many previous changes that you are not able to process it properly. Uske upar you end up taking more action and creating more change and complicating the situation more. This is in everything in life, not just girls. For
Hmm.
example, if somebody is in the markets of trading and shares and stocks and stuff, and you've taken a lot of steps to reach to a particular place, and then all of a sudden you spot a problem or you spot a risk to your portfolio and stuff, a potential risk, not even an actual risk. Now, one thing is you end up thinking so much about that potential risk that you go like, I have to do something about it, and you end up doing and you create a bigger mess. The other thing is that you don't do anything, because if you don't do anything, most probably in most situations, nothing changes. The factors remain the same, but something changes, which is very important, which is your state of being. If you do not do anything and you wait, the impulsivity, the anxiety, etc., it dies down after some time. Anxiety, impulsivity only works as long as you feed it. The way you feed it is if you act on it. Because if you act on it, when you're in that emotional stage, most probably you'll take the wrong decision and you'll take the wrong course of action because you're acting out of emotion. All right. So just imagine how counterproductive this is. Man is programmed to attack. Man is programmed that I must do something about this. I must solve this. But that needs to be done with a cool head. You can't attack something while being emotional. 100% you will lose. So, okay, even if I have to attack, the first thing I need to do is I need to pause so that at least the emotional waves calm down. Then I can attack. And then I will attack it in the right way. I will not fuck it up more. Because then the attack is one strike. You do one thing, but you take the best course of action because you took the time to think it through. And you had patience to not fall into the trap of your own mind putting fear in you that you're going to lose out, you're going to lose out, you're going to lose out. Because that fear is very unfounded. It's not that this girl is going to get married tomorrow. It's not that the world is ending tomorrow. Nothing. So there is no actual fucking foundation to any kind of fear. In most cases, the situation just remains the same. But we think that shit, something will happen, so we must do something about it right now. And that is how we fuck up. And to catch that, I personally feel is the difference between a mature masculine man and a young boy. If you can catch yourself when that internal core of yours starts vibrating with tension and anxiety and a fear of losing out, and you are man enough that you can stand while that internal core is rattling, and after some time it will stop rattling. But if it starts rattling and then you start rattling, okay, fuck yeah, I must do something about it, boom, then you start a domino effect of one fuck up, which leads to another fuck up, which leads to another fuck up. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
That is very important because everybody, and again, it needs a lot of conscious attention to detach from this. Because why did I explain to you that part before about repetition? About two people having like two clients of mine having the exact same situation come to me at different points of time, and then today where they are is totally opposite. Your situation is opposite, his situation is opposite. The only difference is somehow that guy ended up staying still, even though internally he was rattling and he was broken. 1 month he slept with his mother because he was so broken. He used to go and sleep with his mother because he would cry the whole day, this, that, etc. But the guy followed beast mode. He followed the friend zone, this thing. So after 2 months of this entire ordeal, then the girl has been trying to come back to the point. Her parents are begging him that you both get in a relationship now, please, please, please. Whereas when he was losing her, he had gone to speak to her parents, and her parents did not even allow him to see her and told them that you please forget all this. Now the parents actually called him that please come, we want to meet you, and I've asked that please come back into a relationship with her because she keeps crying the whole day. So it's not that he also did not go through the mental anxiety, the mental stress, the feeling of tension, the feeling of losing her, etc. He felt everything the same. And you two at least still are physically in a different location. They two are in the same town. And inside he was fucked. And his studies got fucked, his health got fucked, he was in depression, he was crying, he was this. But somehow he ended up sticking to, beast mode and the friend zone techniques. And then to the point where he was so broken inside that he would go and he would, I told you, sleep with the mother, everything for comfort. But then after that, it changed. So today, when he was speaking to me, he was a different fucking human being. And I was like, what happened? Like, how are you looking different? Because most guys have never felt that power. We, so why did I mention the poem? Because if you take this situation and if you take a man and his fight in the world, right? On earth, love, family, money, everything, and one man alone. This, he thinks he has to attack and win. That is why now hustle culture is on the rise. Andrew Tate is on the rise. The faster these people have risen, faster than that they are going to fall. Everyone who got involved into hustle culture since the past 10 years that self improvement has come is today in some way mentally either depressed or anxious. All right. Everybody who's following Andrew Tate, and I have nothing against that human being. I'm very happy that because of his voice, a lot of people are woken up in some way. But basically, a lot of the youngsters, the young guys who have no aspect of maturity to them, but are looking up to him because he's like the asshole of their high school in a way, the bad boy alpha. So they are also copying him. But what ends up happening is that life comes full circle. So they will develop on the alpha and the bad boy side, but they will never have kindness, maturity, softness, the ability to understand a woman in multiple dimensions, you know, etc., etc., etc. And sooner or later, they might fuck 50 girls, but at 25, they will be heartless and they will be empty inside and they will really cry for having hurt some good girls. Okay. So why I'm saying this is that if this is the world and this is the man alone over here, here also he thinks he has to attack the world. But the beauty of the world is that actually it's feminine. Why do you want to win in the world? Because the world will then give you things. We as men want to do better in the world so that the world rewards us. This is a woman, basically, if you think about it. Otherwise, we try to attack the woman or play around with the woman so that the woman rewards us. There, the reward is mainly sex. All right. And in the ultimate case, the mother of your children. In the world, sex is not what is being given to you by the world, even though it's a byproduct, but the world rewards you with value, money, status, respect, etc. But what we forget to realize is that anything that can give you something, it's feminine in nature. Only a woman can create. So when the world is giving you something, or when a woman is giving you something, basically the one who gives is feminine. And it is striking me now in the course of this conversation, maybe that is why I've always said, dene ke liye jao, lene ke liye mat jao, because then you always have credit balance. Because normally as men, we are always trying to take. And even with the women from the oldest YouTube videos I've spoken about, let's give, let's give, let's give, whether to women, whether to other people, whether to your job, whether to whatever. Because actually it is when you give that you get back. But the thing with women is that in many situations they actually give unconditionally, like such as a mother for a child. Even if the child is a criminal, the mother will still give. That is her kartavya. Right. So I'll read out the poem for you, the one which I posted a few days ago, because I was actually just sharing one of the writings of mine from Telegram, and then I ended up being inspired. And in 10 minutes, I wrote this. Why are you trying to attack that which is only receptive? To surrender yourself unto her is the only way that proves effective. Yet man tries until he is fried to accumulate the might of all kinds of lies, when she can, with a glance, see through the veil of your fighting stance. To please, to appease, to disease without ease, you try your best to make sure you get a squeeze. What never attacks can never be conquered. What never receives, what always receives, can only be perceived. She pulls you in without a try. She hears everything, even your silent cry. And you think you can learn ways of the feminine. You can earn. Get lost, little man. Time to grow up. These are the toys that never show up when real manhood is demanded. Men without honor are reprimanded. The pillars of strength standing in the dark, the few free men whose backs never arch. She craves for him, the one who never advances, the one who never tried to steal any chances. Wake up, you fool. Take a look around. All you see is her. All her glory is about. So basically, man is trying to win a woman. Man is trying to win the world. He doesn't understand that everything is woman for man because he's born on this end of the spectrum. So anything and everything that attracts him will be feminine in nature. Even money is attracting him to basically ultimately attract the feminine in some shape or form. Value, status, respect of even other men he wants so that other women think that, yeah, this is somebody. So for us, the whole world, the whole reality perception which we have is Maya. It's feminine. It's literally feminine. And to win in this, how much will you keep attacking? You can never attack endlessly because attacking drains you of energy. Do you know that in nature, technically, for every 100 women that are born, 116 males are born. Do you know this? Because many males die while growing up, and more than women. Women have the ability to bear attack. Women have the ability to sustain somebody attacking them. Women live longer than men. Women do more for other human beings than men. Men do it via resources, women do it via love and actual human touch. So we are built to attack, but nobody ever taught us not to attack. Nobody ever never taught us that you don't have to do something every time about every problem which comes to your head or the any problem which comes. Because normally we fucking think with a girl that oh my god I need to do something now otherwise I'll lose out. With the work, everyone who is in their 20s today, all right, is under tremendous stress, man. Anyone who's in their 20s is thinking that I have to do well. They're thinking otherwise I'll be a failure. Everybody wants to become somebody. You ask young children today, what do you want to be when you grow up? They'll say, I want to be a YouTuber. Can you fucking imagine that? And this is not because they have a genuine drive for creativity or that they have a craft that they want to express. It is because they saw somebody on YouTube. They think this guy's made it in life. I should do this to make it in life. So I'm going to attack it. If you attack something, sooner or later you will have to stop your body, mind, energy reserves. Somebody, something will give up. Or if you become too cruel, too tyrannical in your attack, you'll end up attacking something which you love and you'll end up hurting that. So nobody teaches man that he should soften up. Everybody tells men that harden up, harden up. Yes, the boy needs to harden up. All right. So the boy needs to harden up to come to the man stage. So he needs to harden up that, okay, every infatuation with every woman does not mean that, okay, I'm in love with her. I need to harden up. I don't need to do something about it, etc., etc., etc. And when he comes to the man stage, then he needs to soften up. That now, when I want to attract a woman, and if I'm already at the stage of a man, I'm already better than most of the males in today's society because I'm not a beta fuck. All right. And I'm not a low testosterone fuck. I'm paying attention to my health, I'm paying attention to my livelihood, etc. So I'm being responsible as a man and trying to make myself a worthy man in my own eyes. Now, when you start doing that, and when you start reaching that stage, when you have to go to a female or in this world, you don't need to attack anymore because if in your own eyes, right, if in your own eyes you start having self worth, you will never be hard on yourself to try and win in the world outside. Your internal system will stop you before you devalue yourself, whether for the sake of money, doing something wrong, whether for the sake of a woman, lying, manipulating to her, or falling on your own knees. The whole internal system will change. But nobody ever talks about any of these kind of things. So we were never taught. Like the way I also learned was you've seen in the past few years how much I've changed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I must have gone through something, right? And not just one thing, a few things to come to understand all of this.